Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. On a bright and sunny day, just when summer was waving goodbye, Jackie and Robin found themselves bored out of their minds. They had already cycled through every video game, read through comics, and even tried to learn a new skateboard trick, which ended with Robin's skateboard flying off into Mrs. Henderson's flower bed. So, with a whole afternoon stretching out in front of them like a blank canvas, they decided on an adventure, one that didn't involve angry neighbors or scraped knees. Robin's house was old, the kind of old that meant it had secrets tucked away in every corner, especially the attic. It was a place they rarely ventured into, mainly because it was cluttered with boxes, old furniture, and dust, lots of dust. But today, the attic seemed like the last unexplored frontier, a perfect place for an adventure. Climbing the creaky ladder, they pushed open the attic door, letting the sunlight stream in through the small window. The dust danced in the light, making the attic seem almost magical. They started rummaging through boxes, finding old photographs, a collection of hats from various countries, and even an old typewriter. That's when Jackie stumbled upon a large, dusty chest that looked like it hadn't been opened in years. "Hey, Robin, check this out!" Jackie called out, excitement bubbling in his voice. They both knelt by the chest, the air thick with anticipation. With a collective effort, they pried it open, and what they found inside took them by surprise. It was filled to the brim with women's clothing, dresses, skirts, blouses, and even a few hats and scarves. The clothes were of various styles, some that looked like they were from decades ago and others more modern. Robin's eyes widened at the sight. "Wow, I wonder whose these were," he mused, picking up a floral scarf and letting the fabric run through his fingers. Jackie, always the one with a plan, grinned mischievously. "You know what would be fun? If you tried some of these on just for laughs." Robin hesitated, his curiosity piqued but also a bit unsure. "I don't know, Jackie. What if someone sees?" "Come on, no one's going to see. It's just us here, and it'll be fun. Plus, it's not like there's anything else to do," Jackie coaxed, picking up a skirt and holding it out to Robin. After a moment of contemplation, Robin's adventurous spirit took over. "Okay, but just for fun," he agreed, taking the skirt from Jackie. They dove into the chest, pulling out various pieces of clothing and laying them out on the floor. Robin selected a simple knee-length skirt and a matching blouse. The clothes felt strange in his hands, unlike anything he had ever worn before. With Jackie standing guard at the door, Robin changed into the clothes. The skirt swished around his knees, a sensation so foreign yet oddly exhilarating. He then slipped on the blouse, the fabric soft against his skin. Looking in the old, slightly tarnished mirror propped against the wall, Robin barely recognized the person staring back at him. Jackie peeked over Robin's shoulder, a wide grin spreading across his face. "You look different, but in a good way. It's like you're someone else entirely." Robin couldn't help but smile, the initial hesitation melting away into a mix of amusement and curiosity. "It feels weird, but I kind of like it." They spent the next hour trying on different outfits, each more elaborate than the last. Robin found himself enjoying the process, each piece of clothing transforming him in small, subtle ways. It was like playing a character in one of their video games, except this time, the character was him. Jackie, meanwhile, was having the time of his life, offering fashion advice and occasionally trying on a hat or two. It was the most fun they'd had all summer, a secret shared between two friends, a memory they would both cherish. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the attic, Robin stood in front of the mirror one last time. He was dressed in a light, airy dress that fell just below his knees, a far cry from his usual shorts and t-shirt. He turned to Jackie, a question in his eyes. "Do you think this is weird? Me dressed like this?" Robin asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Jackie shook his head, his expression earnest. "No, I think it's awesome. It's like you're showing a part of you that no one else gets to see. And besides, who gets to decide what's weird and what's not?" Robin pondered Jackie's words, feeling a sense of reassurance wash over him. Maybe it was weird, maybe it wasn't. But right now, in the safety of the attic, with his best friend by his side, it didn't matter. They were just two kids exploring the vast and uncharted territories of their imaginations, one dress-up session at a time. The next day, after their big adventure in the attic, Robin woke up feeling different. The experience from the day before was still fresh in his mind, like a vivid dream that sticks with you long after you've woken up. He lay in bed for a few minutes, thinking about the clothes, the way they felt, and how he saw himself in the mirror. It was a curious feeling, one he couldn't quite shake off. After breakfast, Robin found himself drawn back to the attic. Jackie, who had stayed over, was quick to follow, his curiosity piqued by Robin's sudden interest in the chest of clothes again. "Going back for more?" he asked with a smile. Robin nodded, a bit shyly. "I just want to see them again. It felt different yesterday. I want to understand why." They spent the morning trying on different outfits, laughing and sharing thoughts about each one. Robin felt more at ease, more open to the experience. It was as if each piece of clothing allowed him to express a part of himself he'd kept hidden. As they played around with different looks, Robin found a beautiful, flowing skirt that swirled around his legs as he moved. It was paired with a soft, light blouse that felt like air against his skin. Standing in front of the mirror, Robin felt a surge of happiness. It was strange and new, but it was genuine. Jackie clapped his hands together. "You look amazing! Like, really amazing!" Robin blushed but couldn't hide his grin. "Thanks, Jackie. I never thought clothes could make me feel this way." "Do you think I could try something on too?" Jackie asked, a hint of hesitation in his voice. Robin looked up, surprised but pleased. "Of course, it was really fun yesterday. I think you'll like it too." Encouraged by Robin's support, Jackie stepped forward and began to sift through the clothes. He selected a pair of soft, comfortable pants and a flowing top that caught his eye. The fabric felt unfamiliar but exciting as he changed into them, a new world of sensations opening up to him. As Jackie looked at himself in the mirror, he couldn't help but laugh. "I look so different." Robin joined him, and they both stood in front of the mirror, their reflections side by side. There was a moment of silence as they took in their appearances, the laughter fading into a quiet understanding. "You know," Jackie started, breaking the silence, "this is kind of cool. I never thought clothes could make me feel this way." Robin nodded, feeling a sense of camaraderie. "It's like we're getting to know parts of ourselves we didn't even know were there." Robin and Jackie talked about everything from their favorite video games to what they wanted to be when they grew up, all while exploring the new dimensions of themselves that the clothes revealed. As they experimented with different styles, they found themselves laughing more freely, the initial awkwardness replaced by a sense of adventure and exploration. They danced around the attic, the clothes swishing and flowing around them, creating a world of their own where they could be anyone they wanted to be. After a while, they settled down, sitting amongst the scattered clothes, their faces glowing with joy and a touch of exhaustion from the morning's escapades. "This was awesome, Robin. I'm really glad I tried it," Jackie said, a genuine smile on his face. Robin felt a warmth in his chest, happy to share this experience with his best friend. "Me too, Jackie. It's something I'll never forget." "It's weird, isn't it? How clothes can make you feel so different," he mused, his eyes not leaving his reflection. Jackie nodded, his gaze fixed on his own image. "Yeah, it's like they let us see parts of ourselves we didn't know were there. I never thought I'd feel comfortable like this." The word comfortable hung in the air between them, carrying with it all the unspoken feelings and thoughts they had experienced throughout their journey. They both understood the significance of what they were doing, stepping beyond the boundaries society had set for them, if only in the privacy of the attic. Robin turned to Jackie, a smile forming on his lips. "I'm glad we're doing this together. It feels like we're really understanding each other on a different level." Jackie returned the smile, his heart feeling lighter than it had in a long time. "Me too. It's like this secret adventure we're on, discovering new things about ourselves and each other." As they continued to reflect on their experiences, they realized that the clothes were just the beginning. What they were truly exploring was their identity and the roles they had always taken for granted. They talked about how society expects boys and girls to dress and act in certain ways, and how freeing it felt to step outside those expectations, even if just for a moment. "It's kind of silly, isn't it? How much importance we put on clothes," Robin said thoughtfully. "I mean, wearing a skirt doesn't change who I am on the inside." Jackie nodded in agreement. "Exactly. It's all just fabric in the end, but it's fun to play around with to see how it makes us feel." As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the wooden floor, they knew it was time to put the clothes away and return to their everyday lives. But something had shifted between them. They had shared something profound, a journey of self-discovery and mutual respect that had brought them closer than ever. They carefully folded the clothes, placing them back into the chest with a sense of reverence. As they closed the lid, Robin looked at Jackie, a sense of gratitude in his eyes. "Thanks for being here with me, for being open to all of this," he said, his voice soft. Jackie clapped a hand on Robin's shoulder, his smile warm and sincere. "I wouldn't have missed it for the world. You know what? Maybe we are really girls after all." With the attic now returned to its usual state, they made their way back down the ladder, their steps lighter, their hearts full. They had confronted their reflections and found not only themselves, but also the strength of their friendship reflected back at them. It was an afternoon they would never forget, a moment in time where they were free to be whoever they wanted to be, together. The next day, it was Jackie's last day over. They had decided to venture a little beyond the attic and explore their familiar surroundings in a new way. Early in the morning, they met up, their spirits high and ready for the day's adventure. "Are you sure about this?" Jackie asked, looking at Robin with a mix of concern and excitement. Robin nodded, his determination clear in his eyes. "Yeah, I think it's time we see a bit more of the world, even if it's just around the block. We've got each other, right?" Jackie smiled, buoyed by Robin's confidence. "Right, let's do this together." They dressed in their favorite outfits from the attic, the ones they felt most comfortable and themselves in. Before stepping out, they took a deep breath, reminding themselves of the fun they had and the discoveries they made together. This was just another step in their journey, another chapter in their adventure. As they walked out the door, the sun greeted them with its warm feeling. The neighborhood was quiet, with only a few people out and about, walking their dogs or jogging. Robin and Jackie walked side by side, their steps cautious but steady. At first, they were hyper-aware of every glance in their direction, every whisper they thought they heard. But as they continued to walk, they began to notice the beauty in the world around them. The way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dancing shadows on the sidewalk, the gentle breeze that made the day feel just a bit cooler, and the peacefulness of their quiet neighborhood. The leaves rustled softly in the breeze, casting dappled shadows on the pavement. Robin couldn't help but twirl a little, enjoying the way his skirt moved around him. Jackie laughed, the sound bright and clear, and decided to join in, skipping a few steps ahead. Their first stop was the local park, a familiar place they had visited countless times before. Yet today it felt different, as if they were seeing it through new eyes. The green of the grass seemed more vibrant and the flowers more colorful. Children played on the swings, their laughter filling the air, while dogs chased after balls, their tails wagging happily. Robin and Jackie found a secluded bench under a large oak tree, its branches providing a canopy of shade. They sat there, watching the world go by, feeling a sense of peace and belonging. People passed by without giving them much notice, a relief that allowed them to relax fully into the moment. As the day wore on, they ventured further, exploring side streets and hidden alleys they had never noticed before. They discovered a small community garden bursting with the colors of blooming flowers and the rich green of vegetable patches. An elderly man tending to the tomatoes offered them a warm smile and a wave, which they happily returned. Feeling adventurous, they decided to treat themselves to ice cream from the corner shop, a place they had frequented since they were little. The shopkeeper greeted them with a familiar nod, and they chose their favorite flavors, sitting on the outside bench to enjoy them. As they ate, they talked about everything they had seen and felt that day, their conversation meandering like the paths they had explored. The sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows and bathing everything in a golden light. Robin and Jackie knew it was time to head back. They made their way home, their steps slow, not wanting the day to end. They passed by the park once more, now quiet as families headed home for dinner. As they reached Robin's house, the streetlights flickered on, casting a soft glow on the sidewalk. They paused, looking at each other with a sense of accomplishment and joy. Today had been a day of exploration, not just of their neighborhood, but of themselves and their friendship. "We should do this more often," Jackie said, his voice tinged with happiness. Robin nodded, his heart full. "Definitely, it's been amazing." After their day of exploring and dressing up, Robin and Jackie found themselves walking home, the sky painted with the soft colors of the evening. It was one of those rare days that felt like a tiny adventure, a secret shared between the closest of friends. As they walked, the conversation gently shifted towards deeper reflections. "Do you ever wonder," Robin began, his voice hesitant but curious, "if maybe we're different? Like more than just liking different clothes?" Jackie glanced at Robin, sensing the seriousness in his tone. "You mean, like feeling we're not exactly boys?" he asked, trying to put words to the vague thoughts that had been swirling in his own mind. Robin nodded, relieved that Jackie seemed to understand. "Yeah, when I'm wearing the dresses from the attic, I don't just feel different, I feel right, like I'm supposed to be that way." Jackie took a moment to process Robin's words, then shared his own feelings. "I feel that too. When we're dressed up, it's like I'm seeing the real me in the mirror. But I'm not sure what that means for us, especially because we're still young." "It's like we're in a dream," Jackie said softly, "where we can be whoever we want to be. But then we wake up and everything's supposed to go back to normal. Only what if normal isn't right for us?" Robin leaned back, looking up at the first stars appearing in the twilight sky. "Maybe one day we could make our dream real. Like, if we're feeling this way now, could it mean we're meant to be different when we grow up?" Jackie's eyes met Robin's, a mix of hope and uncertainty in his gaze. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? To grow up and become who we really feel we are on the inside. But it's scary, too, thinking about how much would change. They talked about their dreams, about a future where they could freely express themselves, where the clothes they wore and the way they felt on the inside matched perfectly. It was a world of possibilities, but also one filled with questions and fears about acceptance, about being different. At their doorsteps, they exchanged a smile, a silent promise to keep dreaming, to keep questioning, and to always support one another. "Good night, Jackie. Thanks for understanding," Robin said, his voice full of gratitude. "Good night, Robin. We'll figure it out together," Jackie replied, his words a reassurance in the quiet night. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.